Hey, Gemstone Elementary. Today we're going to read part of Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride by Kate DiCamillo. And thanks to her and to Candlewick Press for letting us read this story today. So, Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. Chapter 1. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson makes a special lunch. "Time for our little Saturday something," Mrs. Watson says. "You've outdone yourself, Mrs. Watson," Mr. Watson says. "Wink," says Mercy. Every Saturday after lunch, Mr. Watson goes outside. Mercy follows him. They stand in the driveway. Together, they admire Mr. Watson's convertible. "Are you ready?" asks Mr. Watson. "Wink," says Mercy. Mr. Watson opens the passenger door. Mercy hops into the car. She sits behind the wheel. She snuffles contentedly. Chapter 2. "Heh, heh, heh," said Mr. Watson every Saturday. "You, my dear, are a porcine wonder, but even porcine wonders cannot drive cars." Mr. Watson gently pushes Mercy toward the passenger seat, but Mercy does not move. She does not want to sit in the passenger seat. Mercy Watson wants to drive. "Hey," said Mr. Watson again. He pushes less gently. "Scoot over, my dear." Mercy does not move. "Help me," Mr. Watson calls out. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson steps outside. "Darling," said Mrs. Watson says, "if you let Mr. Watson drive, I will make you an extra helping of hot buttered toast. I will have it waiting for you when you get back home." Mercy narrows her eyes. She loves hot buttered toast. She also loves extra helpings. Slowly, very slowly, she moves over to the passenger side. "What a dear," said Mrs. Watson. She claps her hands. "You are such a good sport, darling." "Yes," said Mr. Watson, "she most certainly is." He gets in the car and sits behind the wheel. He turns the key in the ignition. The Watson convertible rumbles to life. Chapter 3. "Bon voyage," Mrs. Watson calls. "Bon voyage, my dears. When you get home, we will all have hot buttered toast." "Goodbye, Mrs. Watson," Mr. Watson shouts. He backs the car out of the driveway very quickly. He does not look behind him. Mr. Watson is a forward-looking man. He does not believe in looking back. "Wink," said Mercy. Already she is having a good time. "And we're off," said Mr. Watson. "We're off on an adventure." Chapter 4. Eugenia Lincoln and Baby Lincoln live next door to the Watsons. Every Saturday, the Lincoln sisters watch Mercy and Mr. Watson back out of the driveway. Every Saturday, Eugenia is displeased. "Mr. Watson is a very bad driver," she says. "He is a menace behind the wheel." "Yes, sister," says Baby. "Furthermore," says Eugenia, "it is my firm opinion that pigs should not be taken for rides in automobiles. Particularly that pig. That pig is a sly pig. I do not trust her." "No, sister," says Baby. Baby looks down the road. The car has disappeared. Mr. Watson and Mercy are gone. "Folly," says Eugenia Lincoln. She shakes her fist. "It is folly, I say." "Yes, sister," says Baby, but secretly Baby Lincoln thinks that a little folly wouldn't be a bad thing. Chapter 5. One Saturday, Mrs. Watson made a special lunch. After lunch, Mr. Watson and Mercy went outside. Everything happened just as it always did every Saturday on Decawoo Drive. "What folly," says Eugenia Lincoln, as usual. "What nonsense." She paused. Eugenia waited for Baby to say, "Yes, sister," but Baby said nothing. Baby said nothing because Baby was not there. Chapter 6. Officer DiCamillo sat in his police cruiser. A pink convertible sped past him. "Was that a pig?" Officer DiCamillo asked himself. "Yes, it was," he answered himself. "That most certainly was a pig." "Is it illegal to take a pig for a ride?" Officer DiCamillo asked himself. "I don't believe it is," he answered himself. "It is unusual," he continued, "but unusual does not equal illegal. However, it is illegal to speed, and that vehicle was definitely speeding." Officer DiCamillo turned on his flashing lights. He pulled out onto the highway. He followed the car with the pig in it. Chapter 7. In the car with the pig in it, the pig was having a very good time. The wind was tickling her ears. The sun was warm on her snout. Even though she was not the one behind the wheel, Mercy was happy. Mr. Watson was happy too. "There's nothing like a fast drive to clear the mind," he shouted. "Isn't that right, my dear?" "Wink," said Mercy. "It is wonderful to go fast," said a voice from the back seat. "Who said that?" said Mr. Watson. "Me," said Baby Lincoln. Mr. Watson looked over his shoulder. "Hello, Mr. Watson," said Baby. "Oink," said Mercy. "Hello, Mercy," said Baby. "What are you doing?" shouted Mr. Watson. "I'm having a little adventure," said Baby. "I'm indulging in some folly." "Folly?" said Mr. Watson. Mercy narrowed her eyes. Mr. Watson was looking over his shoulder at Baby. He was not looking at the road. Mercy saw her chance. She gathered her strength. She leaped. "Woof!" "Help!" Mr. Watson said. "Help me!" "Woo-wee!" said Baby Lincoln. "What folly! What fun! What adventure!" "Please," said Mr. Watson, "get off me." He pushed at Mercy with both hands, but Mercy did not move. She put her front hooves on the steering wheel. She was in the driver's seat, and she intended to stay there. We're going to stop right there, and we're going to see tomorrow how their trip ends up. So you'll have to check back tomorrow to read the second part of Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. See you tomorrow.